acube.net. So in this very short demo, I wanted to show you some of the newer capabilities of SquareX's in-browser security product. So a very common thing which ends up happening is we receive emails with encrypted attachments. And many a times, those email attachments have their password in the same email as well. Now, there could be legitimate reasons to do that, but at the very same time, this is a common way for attackers to hide behind encryption because most email gateways, unfortunately, cannot scan encrypted docs. So the example that you have in front of me right now, you can see an email in Google Apps, and you see that it tells you because this is encrypted, there's absolutely no way for it to be able to scan. Now, this puts, end users in a little bit of a turmoil. What do you do now? Should you go about just discarding this? But if you download it at your own risk. Now, this is really where, let's run through this and I'll show you what SquareX has innovated here. So if you look at it, it has the password. Of course, Gmail, doesn't realize that the password is there in the same email. And it just says it could not scan. Now, in the case of zip files, even if it is encrypted, we can at least look at the contents because the directory listing is still available. And we can see that this consists of multiple folders with documents in there. Docm typically would mean, this is a document with a macro, which kind of looks suspicious, right? So now let's basically look at what we can probably do with SquareX. Now, SquareX has smart integrations where for certain websites, you can go ahead and tell it to do a lot more. And as an example for Gmail, you can go about turning on malicious attachment detection. So the moment you did that, you notice it automatically detects this is malicious. Now you're thinking, maybe this is because this was encrypted. That isn't true. SquareX tries to parse the email on the client side itself. So this is absolutely privacy safe. And if it finds something which looks like a password, it ends up picking it up and automatically tries to decrypt the zip file. Now, at a later release, we even plan to use LLMs to try and understand the content. So if somebody basically said, hey, the password is, take the first 4 letters of your name and do this and do that, we might be able to still do the decryption. But for now, we have good quality regular expressions trying to pull out passwords from the email content itself. So SquareX's malicious document detection automatically goes into the zip, recursively looks at all of the directories, picks up files, scans them if they're Office documents with macros, and then it decides what to do. Now, the most amazing part of what we have built is this is happening entirely on the client side. We do not send this zip file back to our servers at all. So which means you can absolutely be sure that this is privacy safe. So the moment we click on the document, we get our analysis. We can click on show technical details. And this shows us a bunch of files and gives us the IOCs, similar to tools like OLE tools, which can actually tell you what is the reason why something looks malicious. So in this case, we can actually see that autoexec is being called, a bunch of things are happening in pentool.ppam. And, you could try to go ahead and if you're interested, even see what the other things are. So if you notice, on a per file basis, we can give you an analysis to tell you whether the contents of the zip are malicious or not. Now, of course, at this point in time, if you still wanted to go ahead and view it, we have built-in isolation as well. So you can go about just clicking on Open and Save File Viewer, and this will send the zip file to our disposable file viewer in the cloud, and which will basically give you a zip opener right there. Now, of course, in this step, because you want to view this file, we are sending it to our cloud where we are creating these disposable containers inside which you can safely do whatever you want. So now when you want to view a file, you can enter the password And right there in the browser tab itself, you can view the entire file, look at the contents, figure out all of this stuff without running the risk of ever getting, hacked or attacked on your local system by the malicious Office macro. Now, this gives users a lot of flexibility. When we go ahead and launch our enterprise version, a big unveil at RSA this year, you'll see how many other powerful controls we've actually put in. Now, once you're done, you can dispose the session. And that means, the file which was uploaded to our disposable container, all of that gets destroyed immediately. So we do not retain any data. This was just a convenience function, so you could view the contents if you still so desire. Now, in the case, of course, this was an encrypted zip. In the case of an ordinary zip file, you can go about doing the same as well. So this is an ordinary zip file which is malicious, doesn't have a password. We can see technically we've actually went ahead and found basically an Excel containing a malicious macro. And by the way, Gmail wasn't able to detect any of these, or else it would have blocked it. Now, you can go ahead once again, open up the disposable file viewer and view this entirely safely, just like you did before. So the conclusion of the video is really the following, is now if you get any zip file, you do not need to worry about finally downloading, deflating, and then uncovering if this was good or bad. You, again, do not have to worry that your email scanners aren't able to pick some of this up. So in the case of a zip file with malicious Office documents, SquareX can go ahead, look at every single thing, and actually tell you if something was good or bad. The best part, it's absolutely, safe from a data security perspective. The entire analysis happens on the client side. And as I mentioned, if you want to still open it, of course, you would have to send the file to our servers. But these are in these, detonatable temporary containers which can be destroyed once you're done viewing. So that's all I had in mind for this video. We are going to put out a ton of other feature videos. Keep watching and let me know your feedback or any other interesting feature you would like us to add. Thank you.